Hi guys, welcome back to what is currently a very messy workshop. I don't know quite what sort of direction this video is going to go. I'm just recording a few things that I'm doing and sort of talking about what I'm doing. In front of me here just now I've got some pine strip wood that I've got from the local B&Q shed. If you're not in the UK you don't know what I mean. I'm looking at hand cutting some foam wings. And the one thing I haven't got is what I'd call a table template to actually put the foam into and have the templates against and cut. This will all become clear further on in either this video or another video. So I've already got a piece of 4x2 sheet ply. I'm actually now framing it with this pine. This is for the long edges. One side's already done, gluing up. This side, I wanted the other side to dry up, go hard first before doing the other side, simply because I don't have enough of the clamps I want to use around. It's actually like the screw type clamps, so you actually force things together instead of just gripping it with a clothes peg. You know, bigger versions of that. That'll hold it in place, but it won't pull it tight. So I've got enough clamps to do one side at a time. What I'm trying to do is get some Thing wings cut for a friend of mine who's put a request in. Although I'm not producing the Thing kits yet, he's happy to have just the wings and basically do everything else. I've got a few other bits and pieces I can send him for him, but before I cut the wings I've got to make up this tray, table, whatever you want to call it, to actually cut the wings. Now, one of the other problems which I didn't foresee and I stupidly should have thought of, when I've been cutting foam wings before, I've never bought like an 8x4 foam block. I've always bought 8x2s because that's what the foam I've bought comes in. Because I only want one piece of it just now, the cheapest way of buying the foam is again from B&Q. It's 4-inch thick. Comes in an 8x4 sheet. So the bow that I had for blocking out wasn't big enough. So this morning I've made another Hotwire bow, which is sitting out here over the other side, which is 4 foot long. It's actually nearly 5 foot, but to allow a bit of movement at each end. So that'll be able to be used for actually chopping the big block into smaller sections of suitable width to go into the jigs that I've got. So that's what I've been doing just now. So today's been quite productive. I've got the bow made, halfway through making the table. I'm hoping as this video progresses I'll be able to show you developments in the table and whatnot and how I'm going, and then ultimately start cutting some foam wings. So I'm going to crack on with it. Right then, so next part of cutting some foam wings is basically the jigs. The first thing I'm going to need to do is cut the big foam block down to size of the width of this jig, because this jig is for cutting out the plan form of the wing. This one's been designed for, I'm going to say mass production, but cutting a few at a time. So in the one lay you cut a square end down there, then a taper and another square end, and you've got two plan formed blocks. Take them out, move the next block along, do the same again. So you should be able to get, for this particular one, you should be able to get 4 out of a 4 foot wide block of foam. That's the plan form jig. Underneath it, this is what I've just made up. It's not quite finished yet. You can just see through there, there's some slots. That's going to be for a sliding block. Imagine that one there, be able to move. So that the templates for cutting the Hotwire foam cutting can be jammed in here and in that block, and it's varying for different spans of wing. That's the plan anyway. So that's the next stage, but before I can do that I've got to actually go and get some foam, which I'll do, and then see about cutting it to width. These ones I'm doing just now have got to be cut to across the 4 foot width of the block. It's got to be cut to 85.5 centimeters, whatever that works out in imperial, and then the block will sit nicely in between there. So that I should do now. So here we are then. The big block of foam has been cut down a little bit. We've got a chunk taken off. I've put it into the blocking out jig and I've sliced off just the end just to trim it up, make sure it's all square and true. It might be a bit difficult to see, but I can do 2 cuts now to get 2 planform pieces out, move the block along, and I should be able to get another 2 planform pieces out of this one block, so I should be able to get 4 pairs of wings out of the bit of foam in front of you. The bigger bow, not this one, this is the smaller bow that I've got. The bigger bow, I don't know if it took a bit of work to get through the foam, but it's certainly, I don't think the power supply had enough oomph in it, so I might have to see about another power supply for doing that again. But I'll chop this up and see how it goes. Okay, so the planform cutting's been done basically. I've now got 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks of foam that are kind of getting close to wing shape in planform. I've just got 1 piece left over, which is fine. I can use that for something else. So now what I've got to do is I've got to take this jig out of the way. I've got to use this table underneath and all the templates and actually cut the aerofoil into these blocks. So out of the 4 wing sets that I'm doing just now, there's another 3 here. This is the last one to come off the cutting jig. I've done all the aerofoil cuts. The last one to do here is the bottom of this top wing. So that's the actual wing there. And there's another one underneath. And that's the last cut I've done just now. So 16 cuts in all for 4 pairs of wings. Just got to do the end cuts now to get the right angles on the roots and tips, and they'll be done. So, in my haste to get these wings finished, I've totally forgotten to record anything of the actual finished wings. The last bit you saw was me looking at the end of the wing panel. So yeah, I was trying to get them finished, and they're all boxed up now, ready for the courier to come and collect them. If this is something that sort of grabbed your attention, I can do a bit more in-depth video on what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. I suspect I will be cutting a lot more wings. Any questions about what I've been doing? Ask at the bottom, I'll do my best to reply. One of the problems I've had with this cutting just now is the bow I had, it's about a 36-inch bow, and the power supply I had all worked fine for the stuff I've done so far. Because I wanted to cut something bigger, I've now got a longer bow. That power supply, I think, is starting to really struggle. What it was doing is, if you've cut foam wings before, you know what I mean, but if you haven't, when you've got the wire hot, it should just go smoothly through the foam. This was actually not jumping, but just taking like pulses going through. It was getting hotter and colder, so that once it was cut, it actually had like a rippled effect down the cut. So as much as I've got more foam that I need cut up, I don't really want to try cutting it just yet until I've done some more experimenting with this longer bow. I have ordered, I've done a lot of research online since doing this cutting, and the issue is I've not got enough current going through the wire, and what I think is happening is the power supply I've got is actually not tripping out, but it's sort of pulling itself back. Once it's reaching its current limit, it's pulling itself back, and therefore the wire's cooling down, and then it's ramping itself back up again. So I've actually ordered another power supply that can do, it's got a 5 amp limit, which should be more than enough at 30 volt. So that's coming, so hopefully I'll be able to experiment with that and get some better cuts. So until that comes, I can't really do much more cutting, even though I need to get it done. I've got a big lump of foam still in the van, which what I'm planning on doing is, it's big enough to get, I think, I need to measure it, it's big enough to get 2 different sizes of wings out of. but I need to check. If it's not, I might have to do a smaller size and more of them. The wings I'm talking about just now are actually Things. They're called the Thing, designed by and head at SAS. I'm gonna start producing them again, but they're all going to be CNC wire cut. At the minute, I'm just experimenting with the wire cutting using the Thing as a experimental design, not to change the design of it, but to actually get used to using the jigs that are here. They will be CNC cut. I've got access to a CNC Hotwire cutter, and I've also got my own one brewing in the background. Not literally in the background, but there will be a CNC Hotwire cutter in this workshop in the not too distant future. So, as I said, that was a bit of an overview of what I've done with Hotwire cutting recently. There's loads of videos out there, more detailed on what I've done. If you want me to detail what I'm doing, let me know. I'll do what I get asked if I can. But yeah, for now I need to give this place a damn good tidy up. There's stuff everywhere. So if you're liking what I've done, give us a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed already, tick the bell at the bottom and the subscribe button and get notification when I put a new video up. I'm trying to put a video up every Saturday. I think it's 7:30 in the evening when I put them up. If there's something in particular that I'm putting up, or something out of the ordinary, I might put it up midweek or something like that. But yeah, any comments, feedback, all greatly appreciated. But for now, until the next time, I'll catch you all later.